In this video, I'll share with you several games running in HDR. My goal with this video is to show you how some games look in HDR and to provide content that serves as a showcase for those who have just purchased a new TV, a new monitor, or who are testing a TV or a monitor in a store. And as a bonus, I've also added 5.1 surround sound support for this video, which you can activate on TVs connected to a home theater or a soundbar. Regarding the structure of this video, I organized it into 3 parts: an introduction about the HDR technology, and then I explain the equipment I used to record it, and then I finally show you the gameplays. I highly recommend that you watch the whole video, but if you want to use it just to test the HDR capabilities of different displays, then you should skip directly to the gameplays. In regards to HDR, the term means high dynamic range, and the advantage of HDR is that it can display many more colors, and it also has a higher maximum brightness compared to SDR, standard dynamic range. The SDR system can access almost 17 million colors, while the HDR system can access more than 1 billion colors. And the origin of these numbers is the following. SDR is an 8-bit system, and in this case, 8 bits for each primary color, RGB, red, green, blue. So 2 raised to the power of 8 gives 256, and then 256 to the power of 3, because there are 3 primary colors, RGB, that gives a total of 16,777,216 colors. An HDR is a system that starts at 10 bits, so in a 10-bit HDR system, we have 2 raised to the power of 10, which is 1024, and then 1024 raised to the power of 3 because of the 3 primary colors, that gives a total of 1,073,741,824 colors in total. And in addition to more colors possible in HDR, an HDR system also has a higher maximum brightness. The SDR system is normally associated with a maximum brightness of 300 nits, while a good display with HDR support normally has a maximum brightness of more than 800 nits. So, because of this mix of more colors and higher maximum brightness, an HDR signal has a much higher potential than an SDR signal. Obviously, the final result will depend on the quality of the display you're using. There are TVs and monitors with HDR support that in practice show the HDR signal in a quality level that is similar to SDR, such as monitors with HDR support with a maximum brightness of 400 nits instead of, for example, 800 nits. And what I've just shown you, what I just explained, is simply a general overview of the subject. HDR is a super complex topic. And in the end, keep in mind that a display with HDR support doesn't necessarily take advantage of the HDR technology. To really enjoy HDR content, the idea is for the display not only to support it, but also to be a good display for HDR. And when it comes to watching HDR content, there are usually 3 tone mapping options. The 2 basic ones would be the standard dynamic tone mapping, either on or off, and the third option would be HGIG. For games, my recommendation is to use HGIG. HGIG stands for HDR Gaming Interest Group, and what it does is it leaves the HDR adjustment in the hands of the console and the game being played. And to watch this video, the best option is probably to watch it with the regular dynamic tone mapping activated. HGIG wouldn't make sense because this is a video with gameplay, not an actual console running a game, and leaving tone mapping disabled could cause the mastering of this video to deviate from the parameters of the display you're watching it on. And if you're watching this video on a display that does not support HDR, then YouTube will automatically adjust it to SDR, but that doesn't mean it looks better than native SDR content, because tone mapping from HDR to SDR is never perfect. So if you're watching in SDR, you will probably see blown out skies because that's just a consequence of the tone mapping of YouTube. And now let's move on to the equipment I used to record this video. To record the gameplays, I used an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, both with 4K output at 60 FPS and obviously with HDR activated. I didn't use auto HDR, I only used native HDR in the games. I played the game through a 42-inch LG C2, and I left the TV in HGIG mode and adjusted the colors and brightness via the console's menus and also via the dedicated HDR menus of the games I ran. I recorded the gameplays using an Avermedia capture card model GC573, which is great for capturing 4K footage at 60 FPS with HDR enabled, and it's also my only capture card that supports captures with 5.1 surround sound. My other capture card, an Elgato 4K Pro, is supposed to support 5.1 surround sound as well, but this was promised at the time of its launch around 10 months ago, and so far we've got nothing. And now let's finally move on to the gameplays. I'll start with one of the most beautiful games to play in HDR. This game looks spectacular. This is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a game that features great gameplay. It's a super fun Metroidvania 2D side-scroller that has an amazing art direction. And the soundtrack of this game is one of the most beautiful I've ever heard. The story is also fun. It's a game that I highly recommend. And now a game with spectacular graphics, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Uruk's got a backbone.
It took me.
Our inspection team conducts routine surveys of Midgard.
He's so cute.
This game is so beautiful that actually it was a bit shocking for me to move on to other games after finishing it, because everything looked bland instead of looking awesome as this.
Ribbon in her hair. I think I would love that. The Calm Monster Advisory level is currently at critical. The Mako outflow from mid.
that city they're headed to? Is that...
Junar. Shinra territory.
And also, I loved my experience with this game. It's a game that I highly recommend, but before playing it, you should play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Welcome. Thanks.
After all, there's nothing like a good play to kickstart your getaway. That color really brings out your eyes. A shimmering seaside paradise awaits you, with only the bluest skies and earthly delights on all sides. So forget your dead-end 9-to-5s, 'cause here the fun lasts all the way to sunrise. Welcome to Wonderland, my fair ladies.
Where's my next drop-off spot? 2 pizzas.
Hang loose. Okay.
Okay, Brianna. Now, give me a look like you're ready to throw down.
And here's my favorite Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This game has a Greek setting, and because of that, it features super vibrant, super vivid colors. This game looks beautiful running in HDR. Check it out.
Δεν προνέξω.
Coca-Cola στο σημείο. Ουδής ασφαλής εν ενάντια.
And now a game that first got a remaster and then a remake, and I'm not talking about Shadow of the Colossus. This is The Last of Us Part 1, the PlayStation 5 version of The Last of Us.
Coming from what was that? Oh God. Dad? Dad? What is going on?
I love The Last of Us. It's a game that I have a very strong connection with, and it's one that I think everyone should play at least once.
Jimmy, just stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you! Don't!
You shot him?
Sarah.
I saw him this morning.
Listen to me. There is something bad going on. We have got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Tommy, come on. Come on.
Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Holy shit.
What in there?
You got blood all over you.
It ain't mine. Let's just get out of here.
This ain't half the people in the city lost their minds.
Can we just please go?
Some sort of parasite or something. You gonna tell me what happened?
Later.
Get to the highway!
What?
Go! You got Sarah! I cannot run him!
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there! Hurry!
Daddy, we can't leave him!
He's gonna be fine.
We're almost there.
They're getting closer. Dad?
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
How was your morning? Want one?
No, I don't want one.
Well, I have some interesting news for you.
Where were you, Tess?
West End District. Hey, we had a drop to make.
What's up with this?
You think there's people inside?
Maybe.
Are we really going in there?
No other choice.
Oh, it's a soundtrack.
What?
There we go. Home stretch, Tess.
Just so it's out there, I can't swim.
Look, it looks like it's shallow on the right side. Follow me.
I'm glad Marlene hired you guys.
What do you mean?
I know you guys are getting paid for this, but I'm trying to say thanks.
Yeah, sure thing. No.
This game was originally released on the PlayStation 4, and when it was announced, many people thought that the PS4 wouldn't actually be able to run it. This is Ghost of Tsushima. one of the most impressive games of the 8th generation, at least in terms of graphics.
Bruce!
The scenarios in this game are fantastic to appreciate in HDR because they are super colorful. Check it out. One of the best remakes ever made is this one. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I loved the original, and I love the remake even more. This is a phenomenal game in terms of story and gameplay, and visually it's very beautiful.
Hello? Anybody there?
Something's not right.
You all right? Don't move. I'll be back for you.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
Don't shoot!
Get down!
And in HDR, I love the contrast in scenes that are super dark, but also illuminated by the flashlight.
Shit! It's everybody. They've all turned. There it is. The station.
An IP that features wonderful visuals is Forza, and this one is Forza Motorsport. This game in replay mode is great to appreciate its graphics and colors. I love to observe not only the cars and the track, but also details such as the curbs, the billboards, and the sky surrounding the circuits. And now a game that I find superb in terms of visuals. This is Horizon Forbidden West. A game that I found spectacular in terms of story and gameplay, and visually this game is very vibrant, very colorful, which means it looks super beautiful in HDR.
What have you been up to?
Today. You've recovered.
I'm not
Good.
joking. And I've heard rumors that our red-haired visitor can do so too.
One IP that I love is Yakuza Like a Dragon, and this one is Like a Dragon Gaiden. In HDR, this game looks beautiful, especially considering that in night scenes, there are a bunch of neon lights that work really well in HDR, and these parts you're seeing are from the intro of the game.
미로요, 어리.
Also, during combat, this game features really cool particle effects. One of the highlights of 2024 was Astro Bot, and this game, besides being super fun, has beautiful graphics, full of vibrant colors. It looks great in HDR. And notice not only the colors, but also the particles, the textures. Everything looks great in this game. And guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I have a similar one about surround sound. I highly recommend you watch the surround sound video, and I really hope this video is useful for you if you're testing out an HDR capable display. Thank you very much for watching.